In episode 1 of Getting Baked on CakePHP, we will walk through building a basic cake application using the debug messages. CakePHP provides a simple debugging system that will display the sample code needed to create your models, views, and controllers. So let's get started and see how quickly and easily you can use CakePHP to start building your project. I'm going to assume that you've already installed CakePHP and have access to the command line. If you do not have access to the command line, you can copy the app directory and rename it to Demo App. It'll make it easier for you to follow along in this demonstration. I'm going to use the command line tool Bake, which is located in Cake Scripts. With this command line tool, we can pass the project argument and also the full path to where we'd like to have our project created, and this create a complete skeleton of an application for us to work with. You will notice that we are prompted to verify that the information is correct. We'll go ahead and choose yes. And if you'd like to see the output, you can choose yes also. If we change directory back to our root install, we'll be able to see that the demo app directory is now located in our cake installation. We'll try to access the application through the web browser, and we get a nice confirmation that the application has been created. You'll notice that the first debug message we have is your database configuration file is not present. So what we will do is we'll actually create that file. We'll refresh our project, and that'll be in demo app config. Let's open the database.php.default file. And you will notice that there's a default var that we will make an adjustment to. It's pretty self-explanatory. Login will be our username. Password, of course, would be password, and then the database we're going to change to demo. We'll save this file as database.php. And when we refresh our browser, we'll notice that Cake is able to connect to our database now. Since the post tutorial is the most widely used example, we're going to start with that. You'll notice that the first debug message that comes up is our missing controller, and it gives us the exact file name that we need to create. So in our controller directory, we'll create a new file, and you'll see that the notice also tells us exactly what needs to be in our file, the class defined. So we will add that class defined now. One thing that you need to pay attention to when creating the controllers is they are plural form. And then we also have the var name, and we will set that to post, which is a pluralized form of the controller without the controller name added. This is basically a workaround for a PHP 4 installation, but I recommend that everybody uses that var just for the simple fact that if you plan to distribute your app, it'd be able to be used on PHP 4 also. We'll save this file and refresh the page. Now our next debug message tells us that we're missing a model. And just like the controller, it tells us the exact file name that we need. And also the class defined that we should add to that file. And you will notice that our naming conventions, our model classes are singular form. And just like the controller class, we add the var name and this will be singular form post also. Now we'll refresh our page again. Now we're told that we have no database table, and it expected the post database table, so we'll go ahead, create a new table now. Let's move this over so we can see it better. Right now we're just going to use an ID, set it to an integer, and we'll also set the primary key on this table or on this field and auto increment it. We'll name our table post. And refresh our page. Now it tells us we're missing a method in our controller, which is the index method. By default, the first method, if you do not have any argument after the controller name in your URL, will be index. So we'll create an index method. And save our file. And refresh our page. Now we're told that we're missing a view. Tells us exactly the name of the file and where it should be located also. We'll create a new directory, post, which is a pluralized form of our controller. And we'll create an index.thtml, which is our template HTML. We'll save the file and refresh. Notice nothing is displayed here because we do not have anything in this file. So we'll just add a little bit of text here. Save the file again and refresh the page. Now that covers pretty much all of the debug messages that are needed to, or that you can follow along with to create an application. What I'm going to show you now is a few things with using the scaffold. So we'll remove the index method and add var scaffold to our controller. And refresh our page. You'll see that scaffold has started creating a quick layout with the commands that we, just generic commands that we have available to us. And we'll go ahead and edit this table. We'll go ahead and add a title field. Refresh our page and you can see the title is now available. We'll add a body field, which will be a text insert field. Refresh our page again, and now we have the body header. You create a new post. If you can see the way that the layout is of these forms are exactly as it is in the database. For example, if we shift our body field higher into the database table, refresh, you'll notice that it changes the order. And a few other automatic fields that are available in Cake are the modified field, which is the date time field. And then we also have our created field. Again, this one is the date time also. Just add some text to our title. Add a little body content. And save our form. You'll notice that the created tag and the modified tag our fields have already been inserted with the creation date, and you can view your post, edit your post, and as you can see, this pretty much covers some of the basic concepts in Cake, and stay tuned for further tutorials.